My name is Aleksander Wierzejski and this is Poland Daily News. The Catholic Church celebrates the resurrection of Christ today. This is the most important and oldest feast celebrated since apostolic times. It begins with morning mass, which is preceded by the resurrection procession with the Blessed Sacrament. After the service, the faithful sit down to a festival breakfast, during which they make their best wishes. Prayers echo in the rotunda of Jerusalem's Church of the Holy Sepulchre as Christians from around the world were once again able to attend Easter Sunday Mass after 2 years of COVID-19 travel restrictions. Around 500 worshippers passed through the huge wooden doors of the church that is the focus of the most important festival in the Christian calendar, as the site where Jesus is believed to have been crucified and resurrected. The Mass was led by the Latin Patriarch of Jerusalem, Pier Battista Pizzaballa. The Holy Sepulchre lies at the heart of the old city's Christian quarter in East Jerusalem, which Israel captured in 1967 war and later annexed. In Rome, Pope Francis, marking an Easter of war on Sunday, urged leaders to hear the people's plea for peace in Ukraine and implicitly criticized Russia for dragging the country into a cruel and senseless conflict. The 85-year-old Pope made his comments in his twice-yearly Urbi et Orbi to the city and the world address to about 50,000 people in St. Peter's Square. Francis dedicated much of the address, traditionally an overview of world conflicts, to Ukraine, comparing the shock of another war in Europe to the shock apostles, who the Gospel says, saw the risen Jesus. Our eyes, too, are incredulous on the Easter of war. We have seen all too much blood and all too much violence. Our hearts, too, have been filled with fear and anguish. So many of our brothers and sisters have had to lock themselves away in order to be safe from bombing. Ukraine, he said, was sorely tried by the violence and destruction of cruel and senseless war into which it was dragged. Peace upon tormented Ukraine, sorely tried by the violence and destruction of the cruel and senseless war into which it was dragged. On this terrible night of suffering and death, may a new dawn of hope soon arise. Let there be a decision for peace. May there be an end to the flexing of muscles while people are suffering. Please, please, let us not get used to war. Let us all commit ourselves to imploring peace from our balconies and in our streets. May the leaders of nations hear people's plea for peace. He also called for reconciliation among the Israelis and Palestinians and among the people of Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, Libya, Myanmar, and the Democratic Republic of Congo, which he is due to visit in July. This Sunday only, 11 people were killed and dozens wounded in the shelling of Kharkiv at the town of Zolote in the Lugansk region in Ukraine. In the town of Horyuvka in the Kherson region, Russian soldiers fired shots at teenagers, killing one of them. Further traces of Russian atrocities are being uncovered all the time. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said the world should prepare in a number of ways for the possibility Russia might use nuclear weapons. He did not give evidence of the assertion, but added that several countries had demonstrated readiness, including Britain, the United States, Italy and Turkey. There is no need to wait from Russia when it uses the nuclear weapon. The world doesn't need to wait. The world needs to prepare for that in a number of ways. Not only the preparation, etc., bomb shelters, but also it is need to talk to them, to sign a paper, to squeeze their economy, so they don't even have a think about that. That's what I mean, and have to wait from them. They can use any weapon, I'm sure of it, any weapon, and you can't trust.
Є демонстрація від Сполучених Штатів Америки.
Це колосальний.
Today there is a demonstration of readiness from Boris Johnson from Great Britain. There is a demonstration from the United States. There is a demonstration from Turkey and from Italy. I think it would be separate from the European Union. because we have talked about it both with Ursula and Charles Michel. Probably it would be in this regard from Charles Michel, Poland, France, Germany. Since the beginning of the war, Russians destroyed 91 educational institutions in Ukraine and damaged 923. Airstrikes on civilian infrastructure continue.
My name is Tamara. I am a citizen of the town of Severodonetsk. I'm 77 years old, and here is my grandson. You see, I've come to this shelter.
Rocket fire was directed at the sub-Kiev town of Brovary, among others. A number of infrastructural facilities in our municipality were hit this morning. Please remain calm. There might be interruptions in electricity, water and sewage supplies. All services are operating under an intensified regime. Once again, I repeat an appeal. There is a war going on. Russian General Vladimir Frolov, deputy commander of the 8th Army of the Southern Military District, is reported dead. According to the armed forces of Ukraine, so far the Russians have lost about 20,300 soldiers, 773 tanks, and more than 2,000 armored vehicles. Despite losses, Russians are gearing up to a marine assault. The enemy is concentrating its main efforts on regrouping and reinforcing its troops, and it's continuing a partial blockade of the city of Kharkiv, shelling it with artillery. It is expected that the enemy will continue to conduct military operations to reach the administrative borders of the Kherson region and attempt to resume the offensive. Enemy ships are still grouped in the waters of Sea of Azov, blockading the port of Mariupol. The situation in the cities is dangerous, especially as the retreating Russians have left mines in cars. It is still dangerous to return to Ukraine. I know they left their flats and their cars, mothers and fathers. It could be even worse. Ukrainians are grateful to Poles for their support. Thank you very much for your love for us refugees, for the help, food and clothes, for our Ukrainian soldiers. Since the beginning of the Russian war in Ukraine, 200 children were said to have been killed and 360 wounded. President Andrzej Duda and First Lady Agata Kornhauser-Duda wished us a happy Easter. The presidential couple appealed to cherish Polish customs and Easter traditions. They also thanked soldiers and representatives of other uniformed formations for their service to the security of the country. We wish you a blessed and healthy Easter. May peace, hope, unity and fraternity reign in the hearts of all of us. This Easter is different. Many Polish homes are occupied by refugees from Ukraine's struggle for freedom. We trust that the kindness and cordiality with which they have been received will also be present at the Eastern table, bringing them relief and comfort. The celebration of the resurrection reminds us of the event that gave rise to Christianity, which proclaims that every human being is our neighbor and deserves help, and especially the abandoned victims of aggression and injustice. We believe that light will triumph over darkness, that truth, goodness and brotherhood will triumph over evil. May this Easter therefore be a time of hope and respite, of comfort and consolation. May the family atmosphere of these days give you new strength. Let us remember, as we do every year, the Polish customs and tradition of Easter. Thanks to them, we nurture the bond between generations, bring back good memories and bring joy to children. We warmly greet those who care about making Easter peaceful and safe. We thank the soldiers, representatives of the services and formations, and all those who work and serve at Easter. Special thanks go to the community workers and volunteers who bring aid to those hard hit by fate, including the war-torn Ukraine. Well, thank you for watching. That was the Easter version of Poland Daily News. We will be back tomorrow, same time.